Vague refers to something that is unclear or imprecise in its meaning or intention. Inconsistent, on the other hand, refers to something that does not remain the same or is not uniform in its behavior or quality.
Welcome back to Vaguely Inconsistent. I have, as always, Duke to the left of me, Lou is on the right, and here I am, stuck in the middle with you. Yeah.
Stuck in the middle. Whatever, dog. On my screen, you're on my right. Duke's in the middle. Duke's the middle man.
Yep.
And I'm on the left too. Losing the, yeah.
Yeah, Jack, Duke, Lou. Left to right.
Jack, Duke, Lou, yeah. And for those of y'all just listening and not watching this, y'all don't give a fuck at all, and we get that.
Nope.
I'm even here and I don't give a fuck.
I don't have pants on, but you can't tell.
It's because that shirt is distracting the shit out of everyone.
You can't even see me. I'm like an Easter egg, bruh. Look under the bushes.
Yeah, stop lying. You're wearing a trans flag. Don't even give me that.
Trans flags don't have squiggles on it. Look.
Well, they will now. You got to be inclusive of the squiggles.
Charlie Brown was one of the original trans supporters. Okay, so
yeah, he was.
Charles Schultz is rolling over in his grave right now.
I don't know, Peppermint Patty and Marcy.
I don't know, right? No, I think Marcy was. Peppermint Patty was just a tomboy.
Yeah, Marcy was 100% lesbo, but I mean, nobody's listening to this anyway, so it's fine. I can say whatever I want.
Yeah, but
we'll only get 4 downloads next week.
But didn't Velma like dudes? Like, because there's some episodes where she was hot for dudes, and then later on,
well, she was always hot. She was always hot for Fred.
Was it really?
Yeah,
I don't remember that.
She was never going to get Fred because Daphne. Yeah. The original, no, I guess the original redhead, as far as like that goes, would be
Jessica Rabbit. Oh
no, it'd be.
I heard redhead, and I'm thinking Jessica Rabbit.
No, why can't I think of her name right now? Fred Flintstone's wife. That I can't think of her name right now.
Wilma.
Yeah. In my head, I hear him screaming, but he's just like and I'm like, "What's the name? You're screaming the name, and it's not."
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right.
And George Jetson's wife, she was a redhead.
Yeah.
What was her name?
Jane. Yep.
His wife.
I mean, we'd have to go look at we'd have to go look at the dates on that, but I mean, does that go? Do you think that was like in reaction to like Gilligan's Island, like with Ginger?
With what? With the redheads?
Like everybody had like because there was like a string of redheads and like every cartoon.
Man, those cartoons would have come out before Gilligan's Island, right?
All right, I'll research and I'll let you guys know next week.
Because I was going to say
our redhead.
Yeah, it'll be our redhead themed week.
Man, y'all got I don't know if I can wait. I want to know when Gilligan's Island came out.
Also, it'll also be known as the Soulless episode. Hey-o!
Yep.
Oh,
vampires.
Damn.
So that lasted a whole 2 minutes, and we just totally went off script and normal stuff.
I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, we went off track instantly on that one.
I don't have any of this on the agenda. So what's going on?
That non-existent agenda.
Dudes, what happens at your HOA meetings when people go off agenda? Do you have a gavel?
No, you know what? I have had some HOA board presidents have a gavel and smack that shit.
He just shows up without pants, and then he just like, no.
Nah, my voice is a little bit boisterous and travels when I get upset and loud, and when I stand up and tell motherfuckers to calm down, they calm down. So,
and if not, then you get out the slapjack and.
I mean, especially I'll put my dick in the freezer and cold cock a bitch. But it's seriously though, it's one of them things where obviously, in Colorado, a bunch of white people, you got a 6'1", 230-pound black dude stands up and asks for order. He gets order. I mean, so I don't have to worry about it. I've been to meetings where people, a little bit smaller stature white people, and sometimes women. No matter what race you are in our industry, the women, it's hard for them to get respect, even though they know obviously more than the board knows, more than the members know, because they've been doing this job forever, but they don't give a shit about that for a lot of the time. So if once one of those women, because again, I've been to coworkers meetings, I just kind of sat in with them, and once they put their foot down, though, oh, holy hell, these people back the hell up. But me, I usually just do it once, and they all just kind of like, oh shit, let's not piss off the Negro. So
I think that's
it's
how
that Rage Against the Machine song.
What? No, I thought that was going to be one of the
What's
alternative names for the podcast.
Don't piss off the Negro.
I bet we get more views with a title like that.
Well, I don't know. That stupid movie about the magical Negro ain't even going to make 4 million total worldwide. So
it actually looked entertaining to me. I was going to watch that.
I'm going to tell you right now, it looked a little bit silly, entertaining to me. Once that's on streaming, I'll watch it, but I ain't paying for it.
Oh, so the song "Rolling Around Down Rodeo with a Shotgun." These people ain't seen a brown-skinned man since their grandparents bought one. That's how Colorado is.
Yeah.
Well, but somehow now Rage Against the Machine is woke.
I mean, from my understanding, they are now, and they're all just like messing shit up. They were anti-establishment for something, and I don't know. I didn't keep up with that story. I didn't care enough.
They've always been woke, dude. Some of those that burn crosses are the same that run forces. Woke.
Yeah.
True. And we all know. Well, we're not going to talk about Jack's forces.
Yeah.
Speaking of stuff that happens at work, Jack, do you want to talk about your what you sent us earlier this week?
No, I don't think we can.
No. Now you're really trying to get him in trouble.
What happened earlier this week? I don't even know.
The thing you sent us, what the point of that name of the episode is going to be.
The topic, fool.
Yeah.
Oh, dang. All right. Oh, so
guys, have this filled out. Have this filled out before the episode starts.
Oh my god!
I gotta take my mom home, but you better have your shit in line. You better be in order.
That is true. Look, this train derailed at the station. Like there were people getting on the train, and that shit fell over,
all over.
And then it went to Busan because it's just going to be.
Right. So everybody,
yes,
maybe I don't know, maybe everybody. You know, when you work at a professional job and they try to figure out communication style, team building exercises. So our training team had us fill these out. Communication style inventory. And then, so you answer a bunch of questions and stuff. How you prefer to work with people, by yourself, if you're loud. What else was on there?
Well, like an example would be like I usually introduce myself at social gatherings is like the first option. The second option is I usually wait for others to introduce themselves to me at social gatherings.
Exactly. So there are 4 results you can get.
18 questions.
First is controller director, promoter socializer, supporter relator, analyzer thinker. So we're going to guess who got what. So I'll go first since I'm already talking.
Hey, hold on.
Okay.
Don't reveal like after you tell us, Jack. I'm not going to tell you what I did, and Duke's not going to tell you what he did. We'll do all each other first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
It'll be
the after we do our guesses.
All right, here we go.
The human centipede of relationship communication.
So Duke, I think, probably got analyzer thinker. Lou got it's between controller director and promoter socializer. But if I had to say one, promoter socializer.
Okay, I think Duke got promoter socializer and Jack got supporter relator.
Okay.
I think Lou is the controller director, and I made Jack a supporter relate. Oh, sorry, Lou is controller director, and Jack is supporter relator.
Okay. So I got
Drum roll.
promoter socializer.
No.
Really?
Yep.
Damn.
Wow.
It was close though.
I mean, they're all close. They were,
It was very close. Well, the D and I column was 6 and 3. The O and G was 5 and 4. So
Okay.
I could have gone G and D, which would have got me controller director.
Huh. Okay.
Wow.
So
I guess even living with somebody, you don't even really know them.
Right. Promoter socializer. Characteristics are entertainer, values enjoyment and helping others with the same, full of ideas and impulsive in trying them, wants work to be fun for everyone, talkative and open about self, ask others' opinions, loves to brainstorm, flexible, easily bored with routine. I kind of like routine though, so I'm not 100% on that one. Intuitive, creative, spontaneous, flamboyant approach, like the shirt.
Hello, have you seen this shirt, people?
Okay, that's why you wore the shirt. Okay, that makes sense then.
Have you seen the trans flag on his chest?
Optimist, nothing is beyond hope, and celebration-oriented.
Only when it's Star Wars. What?
Yeah.
You're gonna have to read those for us then too, if we're different. Because
I will.
Okay, I was gonna say I don't got that part of the sheet.
Yeah, no.
No, I think to be honest, I think if I would have had the list of adjectives to identify each person,
came up better.
It probably,
I think
probably
so
would.
too.
I would have picked that for you for sure. Because I mean, I guess depending on what the others are, but
that's fair too.
Water under the bridge now. Lou, go ahead.
Mine was really close between controller director and analyzer thinker, and it came up.
And
it came up controller director.
Boom!
Okay.
Yeah.
Good job. All right, so commander, values getting the job done, decisive risk taker, good at delegating work to others, not shy, but private about personal matters, comes on strong in conversation. Yeah, to a T.
Yeah, right.
Likes to be where the action is. Take charge, enterprising, competitive, efficient approach, fearless. No obstacle is too big to tackle, results-oriented.
Facts.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah,
dude, that is spot on.
Yeah.
Right.
No argument. I see no lies.
For real. I'm all like, hey, I'm gonna. You know what? I'm not gonna counter any of those. That is about. All right, Duke.
All right, what'd you guys say for me again?
I had you. Excuse me. I had you at promoter socializer.
Analyzer thinker.
Supporter relator. I was
okay.
O was 6, G was 3, so the O was pretty clear, and then the G and the I was 5 and 4. So
damn,
I just barely beat it out.
Wow.
So supporter relator. Boom.
All right. Harmonizer. Values acceptance and stability in circumstances. Slow with big decisions, dislikes change. Builds networks of friends to help do work. Good listener. Timid about voicing contrary opinions, concerned for others' feelings. Gay. Easygoing.
Wait. Just to be clear, people who are listening, that was subtext. That was not written down on the piece of paper.
Easygoing, like slow, steady pace. Friendly and sensitive. No person is unlovable. Relationship oriented.
I could see that for Duke, because my first
You're
thought
like
when
a
I
big
was
old teddy bear
for real, because my first thought is on something like that was of like I'm thinking Duke. I'm like, okay, which one of these is the least confrontational? And I'm like, that's Duke is the least confrontational.
Yeah. So we just need to get an analyzer thinker in this group, and then we'll have all 4 of these covered.
I don't know. We might not want them. Analyzer thinker is
I was going to say, read that.
Values accuracy in details and being right.
Nope.
Who has that covered?
Yeah, I was gonna say that's my Virgo right there. My OCD. We covered there.
Plans thoroughly before deciding to act. Prefers to work alone.
Yep.
Introverted. Quick to think and slow to speak. Closed about personal matters. Highly organized. Even planned spontaneity. Cautious, logical, thrifty approach. Thoughtful. No problem is too big to ponder. And idea oriented. I don't think we would get along with that person.
Probably not.
Y'all get along with me just fine.
You plan spontaneity?
Actually do. It pisses some of my people off that I know over here. So yeah. because it's one of those things where it's like you're okay because you've accounted for all the different possibilities of things. You don't worry. Like one of the things I've said all the time for like the last 30 years, account for everything, worry about nothing. So when something comes up and there's a change, like, okay, I've accounted for that, and this is what we do. So when it's spontaneous, and I put that in some quotes here, it's not really because I've already accounted for it. Oh, this blew up, which is why when we have plans and something happens and it changes, no big deal. Okay, I've already accounted for it.
So you're literally Doctor Strange all the fucking time. You're just like sitting there like, and you're like, I've accounted for 8 million different ends of how this is going to end, and I'm aware of all of them now.
I mean, I do try it. I'm not gonna lie. I sit there and like if there's plans, let's say there's, or whether it be a group plan or a one-on-one of date plan, what doesn't matter. If there's a plan, I am accounting for, okay, if this happens, here's how we pivot. If this happens, here's how we pivot. And again, I don't worry about any of them. It's just, if it happens, it's like, because usually everybody else in the group, they're the ones who freak out. Oh my God, this isn't how it's working. This isn't how it's supposed to be. And I'm just like, no big deal. We'll just do this because I've already accounted for it. I try that almost all. I don't do it every single time, but most of the time, if I'm doing something, yeah, I've already accounted. Like I have inspections for my job tomorrow, and I know what my plan is going to be on which properties I'm hitting and how. But if something happens where the schedule is late, I'm late, somebody calls me, wants to change something, I already know how I'm going to flip my schedule and drive to different properties and how I'm going to go if there's a hiccup. So, yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah. But I also think the controller director is...
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's more accurate.
Yeah,
I think between the two. While you might... I mean, we all probably have aspects of the other, especially the ones that were really close. I bet you could go either way on that. But...
yeah.
Well, that was fun, Jeff.
Are these like horoscopes though? They're just like vague enough.
Yeah, so it fits all the time.
What you got, you'd be like, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it was, yeah. I mean, I always my takeaways to those types of things are always to make you think about how other people are as opposed to thinking about what you are.
Right.
I took like a personality thing. Like I got years and years and years ago when I was working for like a mall corporate office company, and
that was good times.
Oh yeah, that was good times.
I got that shady M&M and G Unit clothing on discount. Yeah.
Those were
the days.
Can I get Roosevelt clothing on discount?
They had they had me go. I got promoted, and they made me go to like a personality class since I was in a leadership role, and it was, the first whole day was just talking about the different types, the quadrants and all this kind of bullshit. And then they had you fill out the same type of thing, right? A, B, C, D. And then however you filled it out meant you were in that quadrant. And depending on how deep you were in the quadrant was how heavy you were towards that particular personality trait. And we walked out the door and everyone's like, well, now that I know that I'm INFP, then how are people supposed to know how to talk to me? And I'm like, you're completely taking the wrong lesson from that class. The class wasn't to show you what you are. You already know what you are. But it's when you're writing an email, you have somebody like Lou who maybe wants bullet points and just wants you to list exactly the... Right. But then maybe Jack wants to know the backstory and wants to know more detail. So it's like you have to have that awareness, because if I send Lou an email that has a 1.5 page long story for something, he might go, well, I'm not reading this, and dismiss it.
Facts.
And then if I do bullet points for Jack, and Jack's like, well, this I can't engage with this because I don't know why I'm doing it, right? Like, so that's what it was supposed to do, is make you think about how you interact with other people who maybe have different personality traits than you, and to have a better awareness of it. Not necessarily for me to go, well, I know I'm a socializer influencer now. Like, that's not the point. It's to know when I'm talking to somebody else that this is how I should word things and my phrase things, so then we can actually accomplish something as opposed to just like butting heads the whole time.
Oh yeah, absolutely agree on that one. And your point, your example is spot on. I know when I'm talking, there's a lot of times I'm talking to people, whether it be just general socially or work, whatever the case may be, and I'm asking questions. I want you to answer the question that I asked. Do not give me the back. It's like, if I ask you a yes or no question, don't give me the, well, this happened and blah, 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 therefore yes or therefore no. Just tell me yes or no. If I want the background story, I will then follow up and ask for the background story.
Right.
But most of the time, I just want the answer so I can move on. Yeah. What's that?
It kills me at my job. You know what I do. So if I ask a yes or no question, sometimes we get the whole story. I'm like, okay, but yes or no.
What was the question again?
Thank you for all that. Now, could you actually answer the question, please?
I know. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Luke.
No. You're good. You're good.
I was going to say, I actually experience that pretty regularly in my life or at work, because the position that I'm in now is a much different position that I've been in the rest of my working life. And the rest of my working life has been being accountable for kind of almost every minute of every day, kind of justifying your existence every day, right? And this job, my boss doesn't have time for me to tell her a story. Like, she just literally... she has so many things going on in her head from a day-to-day basis. I mean, she works like 10-hour days and she has like 12 hours of meetings, like that's how busy she is. So when we do have time and I find myself like telling a story, I have to like check myself, because she doesn't, it's not that she doesn't care about the story. It's that she doesn't have the capacity to hear the story, right? Are you doing your job?
Right.
Yes. Is everybody, everything I've heard is good. Yeah. Well, what about this and this? Oh, wait. I'm sorry. Like, I have to check myself. It's been a, interesting thought process for me, because I find myself rambling because I get caught up in the, like, I have to justify what I'm doing. And then I go, well, no, not really. Because she seems happy with me. So,
So is she a controller director?
Her?
Yeah.
No, she's a I think she's a supporter. What's the supporter one?
Promoter,
relator.
Relator.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, relator. Like, because she's definitely somebody who somebody who looks out for the people that work under her, So she's definitely a supporter. And I think she would relate more, but she just doesn't have the bandwidth. She just doesn't have the capacity.
See, for me, I have the capacity. I don't have the want. It's
right.
Like, for me, it's just like, don't waste my time with this superfluous information. I have no interest for that. I asked the question. I want to get the answer so I can move on to the next thing. I need to do this thing over here. I need the answer here to do that thing. So I don't care what the story is. And like I said, if I do, I'll ask. And it's like the people, I don't know if you guys have somebody in your world like this, where it's, what would you like for dinner? And it's, well, I had this earlier for lunch and I had that for breakfast, and then I really don't want to do that. I'm just listening to this. I'm thinking, when are we getting to the point where you answer the question? And I understand. It took me a little while, but I finally understood that person is just thinking out loud. And for me, I'd rather you keep that to yourself until you get to the answer. I don't want to hear that thinking out loud. I just want the answer. So, but again, I've adjusted where I don't get mad at that anymore, because I just understand that they're thinking out loud. But it took me exactly. But it took me till I was like 30 something. So we're talking 10, 15 years ago before I finally learned that that's what people were doing. Where I guess I do it so quickly, where if you ask me a question, I may sit there and not say anything because I'm thinking about it. Then I'll answer your question.
You're thinking, I had Denny's, then I had Del Taco, and now I want Olive Garden.
Exactly.
But you do all that in your head real quick. You don't have to talk it out.
Real quick. That's exactly what happens. And it's kind of funny. A segue off of that. This is, oh my God, it was probably, high school, or I just graduated. So we're talking 30 years ago. I had somebody in college in a psych class, and they're asking me these 20 questions, and it turns out at the end they're determining whether or not you're left or right brain. And there were these 20 questions, and mine came out 19 left-brained and 1 neutral. I had no right brain answers at all. It was wild. That still, obviously, 30 years later, that still sticks with me that I was 19, 0, and 1. But you guys know me, and you know that fits. So
yeah. Shit, I'm not going to ramble to Lou and tell my life story anymore. Shit.
So, no. You see, that's the thing. If I don't ask a question like that, just ramble. I want that. Like if it's open ended, I want you to ramble and fill me in on details. But if I specifically hey, this or this, whatever, answer, this or this. Well, I'm really not sure. That's bullshit. Think about it enough, and you will get your answer. So
the worst answer to that though is, I don't know. What do you want?
Oh my gosh. I don't. Which is the worst answer, because it's like whenever that happens, I will pick something that I know that person doesn't like. It's like, well, I don't care. Okay, then let's do this. Well, no, I don't want that. Okay, that means you do care. Mm-hmm. So why don't you actually pick something that you care?
Suddenly we have an opinion up in this thing.
Yep, I will absolutely throw it out there. As soon as they say I don't care, boom, there it is.
Then they surprise you when they were like, fuck yeah, let's go.
I know, right? That dude talk about jokes on you.
Discombobulated. You're like, wait.
Right? It's like, shit.
I didn't actually want that.
Exactly. Oh yeah, I think that's happened to me once or twice before too. It's like, fuck, now I'm stuck with that. That's what I get. Playing games over here.
Yeah, when somebody does that, I usually go, well, let's see, I want this, or this. I think now it's your choice again. Here, these are my options. Now here's your options.
Oh, I've done that.
You pick from my list.
Yep, I'll do. Or the okay, pick a type of food. Mexican, Italian, burger, diner. You pick a style, or a style, and I will pick the place. We'll compromise. It's like, well, I kind of want to go out. Okay, cool. What that means, sit down spot. I will pick a sit down spot for. So it's like, oh, I kind of want fast food. Okay, if you could at least help me out. Because I'm okay if I have to just pick and you're just going to deal with it. As long as you've proven you're not going to bitch about what I pick, then we're good.
That's true.
If it's like, hey, I don't care, just pick something. Okay. And the moment I pick it, you're like, well, I really didn't want that. I'm just like, oh, no, we're going to have a problem going forward.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with speak your damn mind, right? It's like, well, I kind of want this. I know we kind of had, I know you made spaghetti yesterday, but I kind of want to go to Spaghetti Factory. I'm like, okay. There's nothing wrong with eating the same shit a couple days in a row or style. I'll do it, dude. Italian's my favorite, so I'll eat that 7 days a week. I ain't worried about that.
Because I got meat lovers at Spaghetti Factory.
Damn right.
Big balls,
the annual, that wiener in the middle.
The annual Spaghetti Factory trips.
San Diego Comic-Con, baby.
Yep.
Yeah.
You guys, lately we were going twice, I think. Lately, the last couple of years, we've gone twice instead of the once that we're down there. We hit Joe's Crab Shack once and then Spaghetti Factory twice. You know what's missing, though, that we haven't done in, I don't know, a decade? Ghirardelli.
Mm-hmm.
So we might have to hit that.
Or the Woody's?
Place is good.
The wood-fired pizza that we used to do every year? The one that was further out? It was the one where we would take the walk?
Yeah.
That must have been y'all. Yeah, that must have been y'all. I don't remember doing that. I remember Dick's Last Resort the first couple of years we were going.
Yep. That was and Fred's, the Mexican place that's not down there anymore.
Is that the one?
That's the one that was the cantina style, right? It looked like an old school cantina.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool
stuff. Why do we always talk about food?
Because food is good and we all fat. That's why.
Yeah. Because I told people this isn't a Star Wars podcast, so we got to talk about something else that we're all interested in.
Although that was a great episode, though. I know y'all saw Bad Batch.
Yep.
I did not because my Plex server died. I will. I'm going to as soon as my Plex server's back up and running. But that it kind of curtails into my story. So.
Your Plexer died. They got pills for that these days, man. You ain't that old.
Right? Go to him.com.
Hims, yeah. They'll evaluate you over the phone or internet.
Yeah,
whatever.
I have a ship and discrete packaging.
I have a prolapse computer.
Oh my god. Oh my god, that's funny. But yeah, it was well done, and I like the fact that they're going to address some stuff in the future. So
Yep.
Cool.
And
All
2
right,
episodes next week. So
is that the end then?
Nah.
like mid-season or something.
I thought it ends the end of April.
I thought we were already eight
Something like that,
episodes in. Is it going to be a 16 episode?
This is episode 9. Yesterday was episode 9.
So okay, so they're doing a super long season then.
Yeah,
A little bit longer, yeah. 'Cause they know it's the last one.
Last season, so they're filling in what they have
Yeah.
to.
Yeah,
As long as they get the job done. I mean,
they're pulling a Halo. They're filling in all the gaps that they did during the first season.
that reminds me, Jack. So did you
Halo?
Did you finish?
I finished season 1 finally.
Okay.
All right.
Watch out! And I watched episode 1 of season 2.
Did episode 1 of season 2 make you go, "Ah, shit! Here's my jam"? This is like
until he didn't pick up the energy sword. As somebody that's been playing Halo since like day 1, he did not pick up an energy sword and fuck those elite up.
It's episode 1. Like I'm not spoiling
no
it.
excuse. Go out guns blazing, pick up that energy sword and fuck those dudes up.
Yeah.
I also didn't see the that ball sack shit where they squat down. I was hoping to see that in the game. In the show, because everybody does it in the game, right? So teabagging somebody.
That was the cutscene from when him and Homegirl were boning.
For real.
There you go.
Wait, that reminds me. Did y'all think that was a little weird? Because he's like 40 and she looks like she's 16. I was like, man, that's a little creepy. Because she don't look that old.
Look, I thought it was weird he took his helmet off. Master Chief doesn't have a face.
Yeah, that was weird for me too. Because again, not knowing the game, like we've always said the last few episodes, I thought that was a thing. His helmet doesn't come off. So to see it come off right away, I was like, what the hell's going on?
And he's ugly. Master Chief should be a handsome fella.
Well, but
ugly.
I think that was, again, I think that was part of the game was that he never took his helmet off, or always his helmet was always like at the beginning of the game coming on to his head, his uniform or his armor, because then he could be anybody, right? He could be Jack, he could be Lou, he could be me. Like there was no, there was no like, oh, he's a blonde, blue-eyed Thor, or he's Captain America or whatever. Like that the idea was that the protagonist could be you. Like you were supposed to identify with him, and you did. I think.
So
I think.
Oh yeah.
So for all the games that you guys played, he never took his helmet off.
Never.
Nope.
Or at least it was never. Whenever he did, you never saw his face.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Like he would take his helmet off, but it would be from his perspective.
Right.
And so he'd take his helmet off.
First person game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you
and even all right, and then all the third person stuff. I mean, the very beginning of the first game, he's in a cryo chamber, and like the first thing that happens is like his helmet comes on his, drops down over his head. Like,
okay, yeah, I thought I saw something like where the last game that came out, they finally revealed his face, but it never happened, huh? That's wild.
I don't think so.
As far as I haven't played Infinite yet, so I don't know.
Okay.
But I mean, of course, all the rest of them, ODST and the other Spartans and stuff, all have taken their helmets off, so you know who they are. But that's because that's not you, right? You might be playing that. You might be playing them at some point, but
so is that team? The other three, are they part? Is that part of the game?
No.
No.
The characters are. I think I'd have to look again, but I don't think. Yeah, I don't think those are all original.
Okay, because I'm thinking Gears of War, where you had your team of 4, you know who the people are, and I thought Halo was like that too.
Well,
no,
you didn't get that way until
Master Chief is like the last Spartan, is how it always came off to me in like the original trilogy. Yeah, and then they put out Reach, and you play as a squad of Spartans, but then they all die, like at the end of the game. Spoilers.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you play ODST. Right. And then you play ODST. Then in ODST, you play basically like a Spartan, the next generation, but they're not super soldiers. They're like, it's almost ODST. I always felt was more of like the step between human and Spartan.
Yeah,
right. Like
they were dudes, and they had like armor, but they weren't like genetically engineered like the Spartans are.
Yeah.
Okay, no, I get it. After watching seasons 1 and 2 now, what you guys are saying makes a little more sense to me because I've completed season 2 last week.
So the soldiers they're referring to them, and this will be a little spoiler for Jack, but because I don't think they talk about, just because it comes up later in the season, but the ones that they're referring to as Spartan 3s are more ODST than Spartan.
Well, yeah, I figured as much, and as you guys were talking, I just wasn't going to spoil it, Duke.
Well, I mean, again, it's not. I mean, again, it doesn't. Spoiling is loose because I didn't give any context, right? Jack doesn't know.
Yeah, I hear you. Did you guys remember last week when I don't know if we said this on air, but you didn't realize there was an extension for a thumbs down on YouTube?
Yeah, that was on the
that was during the episode.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So I recently checked of what the Acolyte is right now. Like earlier today, it was like 100
like negative like 500 or something.
500 and like 50,000 and positive 150,000. So they're trying to spin it where it's the most viewed trailer ever, setting records, but it's the first Star Wars trailer that ever got ratioed. It was like, damn.
But I also think it's, to me though, like, I find it hard that there's 500,000 people in the world that care that much to vote it down.
I don't find that odd or hard to believe at all. It's Star Wars.
My thing is, though, are you hating the show or are you hating the trailer? What is wrong with the trailer? If you're just taking the trailer.
Right.
So, what is there to hate about that trailer?
So 100% agree with you.
So obviously there's a bigger conversation happening here, right? Like, or a bigger...
There's a bigger issue because you got to keep in mind the showrunner was Harvey Weinstein's assistant back in the day. So there's going to be a lot of hate on her just for that. And then you add the wokeness that she brought to Celebration and the interviews that she's done, how she's going to bring her queerness into the show that she's actually said. So I don't think it's a trailer issue because that trailer looked damn good. I don't care who you are. Y'all know how anti-woke I am, and I don't give a shit. That trailer looked good, and I thumbs up that trailer. But if people are picking or thumbs up, thumbs down based on either whatever their ideology and Leslie Headland's ideology, and again the Harvey Weinstein connection, all these things, I could see how it could get 500,000 negatives, but there is zero way that trailer was worth 500,000 negatives. That's bullshit. Right. That trailer, that was too good.
But the problem is, like, because of how Hollywood is these days, it's entirely possible that now they'll change stuff that was potentially good and make it bad, right? Like if something comes, if they look at the trailer stats and they care about the trailer stats, right? Which they shouldn't. It doesn't fucking matter because it's just, it's a trailer.
2-minute trailer.
And also it doesn't matter because it's fucking YouTube, right? Like YouTube, there is so much fucking negative bullshit on YouTube, so much hateful, angry, empty people just yelling into the void, right?
Yeah, sort of. I mean, Andor got an absolutely positive review. So
I'm just talking about in general. I'm not talking about
in general. Yeah, okay,
like in general, right? And the fact that there's something like I wish I could remember the statistic. The number of videos that is uploaded to YouTube every second of every day is insane. It's a crazy number of videos that are being. And the reality is the only thing that gets views, or this day and age, the thing that gets the most views is going to be the angry, I feel as a white man, I feel like my day and age is over, blah, 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 blah. And that shit, even though I don't ever watch any of those videos, it still creeps into the algorithm.
Yeah.
And even the amount of negative Star Wars related channels that exist versus the ones that are just there for the love of Star Wars, right? Like there's way more Star Wars theory videos channels than there are Star Wars explained channels, because those get the views.
I know.
Yeah, it's just how life is. I mean, even like you just watch normal news, it's all negative stuff.
Yeah,
that's what nobody's
it
putting
gets
like
clicks,
happy
man.
feel good stuff.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's where the clicks are. And for me,
nobody wants happy
it's
positive.
No, not at all. And for me, I like seeing the negative reviews of anything because I don't want the echo chamber. I already know what I like. I want to know why you think I shouldn't like it. And then usually I watch it or whatever, and it's like, nah, I still don't agree with you. I'm fine with what I got. But I don't want the echo chamber. It's like, okay, all these people are positive about this or that. I don't want to hear your story about why you thought Andor was good. I have had my own opinion why I think Andor is good. I want to know why you think it's bad. And it's like, oh, that's something I didn't account for, but I don't find that to make it bad still. It's like, that's what I want to see. But I'm
that's
like that with general arguments too. So.
But yeah, even like you buy something on Amazon, you're like, well, let me look at the reviews. You go to the 1-star reviews first. You're like, well, why? Who hates this and why?
Yep.
But some people, I think, just like feeding into the negativity of that.
Oh,
like,
gotcha. I see what you're saying.
This guy hates Star Wars. This guy hates Star Wars. I'm just going to watch all their stuff. Because you know what? I think I hate Star Wars now, too. So then that's just like bounce to hate. But it goes back to our Jar Jar episode. There were people that made a web ring of Jar Jar hate stuff. I'm like, oh, if you like killjarjar.com, you should go to letskilljarjar.com. And you just continuously click in this ring of hate.
And all it does is reinforce itself.
Right. And then it reinforces it in your mind.
Confirmation bias.
If you surround yourself with negative stuff all the time, you're going to be a negative person.
Well, and if that channel that you're watching, Star Wars was good and now it sucks, or whatever, goes, oh, you need to go to the Acolyte trailer and you need to vote it down. If that's a channel that you watch, you believe in,
we will say negative.
Exactly. Like, how many sites have been DDoSed? How many people have been doxxed? How many because of some channel that has a grudge or right or wrong has some sort of negative and they happen to have they have a negative opinion of whatever it is, whether it's Star Wars or gaming or whatever, and they mobilize their troops against somebody, like it's so I guess I could see the 500,000 if you're a negative Star Wars influencer and you basically like sick your
minions.
Yeah, your minions on the Acolyte trailer to vote it down, for whatever reason. Again, like you said, the trailer, if you're looking at just purely the trailer's fine. But if you have a bigger bone to pick, right? If you have a bigger and maybe those people,
it's Disney.
Right. It's Disney, so whatever. Like so, yeah.
You see Disney drop their lawsuit in Florida? When they were trying to get all that special treatment, they were like, screw it, we're not going to win this. So they dropped it. Now they're going to be treated like every other entity, and they're not going to get that privilege that they had the last, 40 years, whatever the hell it was. Now,
I don't know. That might backfire on Florida, though.
Now they're going to get now they're going to get proper taxes and everything else from them that they weren't getting before.
But see,
that everybody else
Disney,
has to, like Universal.
So you haven't been to Reedy Creek around Disney World.
Correct.
Super nice there. Super nice. And Disney takes care of all that there. But now you're going to put that in the hands of regular Joe Schmo taxpayers and regular public works people. It's not going to go over well.
I need to read more up on that because I'm not sure that's how it works. My understanding is they just have to pay more is all. They can still have their people
do it. They're going to pay more.
But they don't have the special district anymore either.
Yeah, so they're just going to pay their taxes, put it into Orlando or Orange County's pockets. But as it is now, before all this, Disney would be like, yeah, we're going to fix that road. We're going to make sure that the streets are swept, every so often. All the potholes are filled. These are the nicest roads in all of Florida. But now you're going to leave that up to regular public roads. It's going to have potholes everywhere.
I don't know if they can afford to do that though. Disney's name is so tarnished right now, and they've got this chairman vote coming up. Where nobody's trying to get rid of Iger at this time, but these guys want a seat at the table because, well, they suck. Everything they've made the last 2-3 years, except for Guardians, I think Guardians 3, everything has lost money, everything, and that's a damn shame. I don't know if they can afford to have more egg on their face. So if that happens, we're like, oh, we're just going to leave that alone and not touch it. That's going to fall back on Disney and not Florida, because people are going to know. Plus, the state of Florida is going to blame Disney anyway. Let's be real.
But what has come out in the last couple of years, 2 to 3 years, from anything that has been great consistently? Like none of the studios have, studios have put out consistently good stuff.
But they've at least put out something good.
But my point is that
Profitable.
I think what's happening is you're seeing the rebound from the pandemic, right? The pandemic started. You had a bunch of studios who had to adjust how they manage stuff, right? I mean, you have Disney, or not Disney. You have Discover, HBO, Discover, whatever the hell they're called now.
Oh yeah,
Warner Brothers. Like just gutting things because they got to save money on taxes, right? Why would you do that? Well, because you're not making money elsewhere. If you're just pulling stuff off, if you're just pulling movies out that are complete and done, right? Regardless of whether they're shit or not, because every year there's tons of movies that end up being shit that are put out every year, right? From all the studios. So to say, well, we're going to take this, we're not going to release this because we're going to make more money off of the taxes than we would by releasing it, when that hasn't been as large of a thing, or at least it's been something that hasn't been as publicized, as known, right? Like when they were like, oh, well, they're not going to release Batwoman because they're going to make all of that money back in tax breaks, and you're just thinking, no, why? If we record 5 more episodes of this podcast and Jack spends $500 more on software to make the podcast better and it doesn't go anywhere, and then all of a sudden he just pulls all the podcast episodes off, it's not like they're going to say, oh, sorry, Jack, here's all your money back. But yet somehow a studio that makes billions of dollars a year can just say, we're not going to release this because we're going to get a tax break for it. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, but Disney hasn't made a profitable movie in how long?
I'm talking about in general. I'm not talking about Disney. I'm talking I'm talking about the studios in general, right? So the pandemic happened. Everybody had to pivot. Everything's getting released streaming because nobody's going to the theater. The theaters aren't open. And now we're trying to shoehorn everything back into like, everything's normal again, guys. Just everything. Don't worry about what happened the last 3 years. Just everything go back to normal.
Okay.
And the problem is that the problem is that their strategies, the fact that they had to plan their strategies out so far for this stuff, means that you had Marvel and Star Wars and Disney and Universal and MGM and all of these studios who had these 3 to 5 year plans going, oh shit, like people, we can't be dumping everything onto streaming anymore. We have to go back to doing things in the movies because everything's going back to normal. And also streaming isn't turning out to be as profitable as we thought it was going to be, because all those studios thought this is going to be easy street. We'll just release one copy of it and put it out on the internet and everybody will watch it and everybody will pay $15 a month to watch this one movie that we put out every year, right?
I mean, that's mostly true, but I'm looking at it the side of just make a good movie. I mean, I don't give a shit what's going on the side of, oh, COVID happened and COVID this and that. New movies came out after COVID and they were extremely profitable. It's more of there's just shit movies out there, period.
Right.
And there's more of them but no, there's more now. Really, there's always been shit movies. Are you telling me there's now though, there's been more shit movies than ever? That's just a writing issue. If you're trying to pander, if you're trying to check boxes, that's usually why your movie sucks. Once you don't do that, you do something like John Wick and make a shit ton of money because you don't care about what some company is wanting you to do with your movie. It's like, screw that. I'm going to make a movie that I think is good, and people will go and watch it. I mean, that's how it seems to me. You make a good movie, people will watch it.
But if you look at the percentages of movies that are already using pre-existing IP versus original movies, and those numbers are heavily leaning towards IP. A bunch of the studios are not developing original ideas anymore, right?
Yeah,
I'm not talking about like a biography like Oppenheimer. I'm talking about stuff that is original. I mean, even Barbie is based on an existing IP, right? You know, because it's the safe play, right? Instead of giving us $500,000 to go do something completely original and new that may or may not work, which is what the studios used to do. You know, that was where like the Samuel Goldwyn Presents, the Miramaxes, the smaller studios, right? That were maybe attached to the larger studios, but that would do kind of the more risky, like Pulp Fiction, Reservoir Dogs, you know, Desperado.
Stuck in the middle with you.
There you go. You know, those types of movies, you wouldn't see those movies released today because the studios wouldn't fund them.
Instead, so they'll make some other crap and lose $300 million.
But again, to them,
Indiana Jones,
it's the safer play, right? Indiana Jones was the safer play, right? And they obviously, you know, and I don't think any of those people went in with the intention of making a bad movie, right? I think what ends up happening is, I think it goes back to what we were talking about a couple of weeks ago with Marvel versus DC. Like Marvel up until you know, a year and a half ago, you know, Feige had control over everything, right? And was the one that was dictating the terms for everything. And I think that at some point that changed, right? I'm not entirely sure how or why, or maybe he just got too big for his britches or whatever, but at least they had one vision, like one person, the buck stopped with that person, right?
He just got spread too thin is all.
Right. Because again, when you're trying to produce, you know, 6 different types of streaming services, instead of being able to focus on the 3 movies and 1 streaming service you have coming out, or 1 streaming series you have coming out, you have 5 streaming series in the pipeline, and those are all going to be a lot more challenging than doing a movie, right? Because there's so much more logistics and stuff like that involved, and especially with the timelines of when all of those movies are coming out, you know, you have to address all of that. But at least they still had somebody who was the buck stopped with him. DC has never had that up until they hired I just completely spaced his name. James Gunn, thank you. And so you have, you know, people like wow, I cannot think of names tonight. You have people like Zack Snyder who are like, well, I have this vision of what I want superheroes to be, and he's like applying his life, you know, not his life lessons to the movies, right? And so the movies end up not being great because, again, that's not what people want to see in Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman, you know. But then you
don't want to see Batman with a shotgun just wasting people.
Not when we've never seen it before. But my point is, hopefully that if they are able to right size the ship and maybe not plan movies out for the next 10 years. You know, when I see those slides of them giving presentations of going, next year we're doing this movie, and the year after that we're doing this movie, and the year after that we're doing this movie. I hate that, because now you're setting those expectations, and you're putting the cart before the horse. You're saying,
I guess. I mean, the way I look at it is, there's something wrong with as much as I don't like it, rehashing an IP. What's wrong is the bullshit stories that we get. It's like Indiana Jones was not a good story. It wasn't horrible. It just wasn't good. Mm-hmm. And people are sick of the message. You know, nobody wants that crap. And it's like, if you go back and look, to me, it's all about the writing. It's all about checking boxes. And once you stop doing that, you get a good movie and people go to the theater and see. It's like, well, people aren't going to the theater anymore. I'm like, really? When you didn't have a message in your damn movie, people went to the theater, and it was fine. Just like when the writer's strike happened, I was not crying. I was like, oh God, please fire all these people, get new people, and stop writing woke shit. Give me some good stories. But Barbie was, like you said, it was what did you say? It was a rehash IP because obviously Barbie existing IP, and that's fine. It is, and I didn't think that was a great movie. But it was better than a lot of the crap we've seen the last couple of years.
But I think there's a difference between a bad movie and a woke movie too. So that's
for sure,
too,
for
right?
sure.
But you said there aren't any
good woke movies. Though.
You said there's bad movies, And then you said, but they're woke. So I just wanted to be clear that there are two separate things there. You can have a quote unquote woke movie that's good. Just because it's woke doesn't make it bad. Right?
Name one.
Well, I don't look for woke stuff in my life, Lou. So I'm not. I don't type in Star Wars woke and read all the articles.
Time out, because we have to make sure we clarify the terms here. I am referring to, when I say that bad movie, I'm referring to profitable. There is no profitable woke movie that I have come across. At the moment, like you look at what lost money the last. Go look at 2023 and look at which movies lost blah 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 $100 million, $200 million, and mainly it's the Disney movies because they have their message that they're trying to force feed. That they've admittedly said they're trying to add their gay agendas to stuff. They said that. That was their words, not mine. And then it bit him in the ass. And look, it's like, oh, we're going to make this woke movie. Okay, it's not going to make money, and sure as shit, it loses money. That's what I mean by that.
Jack's shirt's offended by that statement, by the way.
It is. Yeah.
What do you think, Jack? I mean, because you're usually pretty neutral on movies. Like, it's woke, not woke. I don't care. What do you think about it?
I don't even remember the last woke movie I saw. I don't. Like, so people talk about the Buzz Lightyear movie that came out, and his friend was gay.
Mm-hmm.
People made a big deal about that. It was a split-second scene. Like, nope, this movie is woke. It's horrible. Based on a split-second scene of her kissing her wife. Does that make it woke to you?
Yes, especially if you have the backstory.
Why?
Hold on. Especially when you have the backstory when that is not how that character was supposed to be. They changed that character to make sure they got the message out to everybody. And what did they do? They basically alienated half the country and the ones with the money, and they chose not to go watch that movie, and it was unprofitable. They lost money on that. That's what made it.
So if they didn't,
that's the only thing.
If they didn't put out a press release that said, "Yeah, we went back and changed this," would it have bothered you?
Maybe. I don't think so though. I'm gonna lean more towards no, it wouldn't have, because if the character fit, and in that situation where there was no announcement, I don't think there was a problem with that character, especially since they didn't, like I've said before, they didn't make her gayness a part of the story. As in, we need to push this. I didn't think so at all. I thought it was just simply, okay, this character's gay, move on, no big deal. But because I know they changed it to push a message, that's where they lost me. And I saw the movie, don't be wrong, I still saw it. I didn't mind the movie at all. I mean, even with that, I didn't mind it. But I could see why others wouldn't go.
So I have the 10 biggest movie box office bombs of 2023.
Hold on. Now, how are we defining that? Is that just they didn't make a lot of money in the theater?
Financial.
No. Financial. What I mean is, did they not make enough money in the theater? Or you have to counter that with their budget as well.
Right. So I'm saying,
what's the term?
So for that, how Screen Rant is defining profitable is 2.5 times its budget, because the budget doesn't ever include marketing. It doesn't include everything that is included in that, right? So they say that the movie has to make 2.5 times its budget in order for it to be successful or profitable.
Does that account for the fact that the movie studio only gets half of the theater taken?
But it's just numbers on the floor, just 2.5 times.
Right. So
easy peasy.
So we can just we don't have to dive into any of these real quick, but I'm just going to go through. And Lou, I want to know if for Lou, since Jack, you say I don't know when the last time I saw a woke movie is, and I still don't know what that term means, and so it doesn't enter my lexicon. The only time I ever use woke is when I have to get up way too early for fucking work. Yes, I'm woke right now, so just fucking leave me alone. So the
okay, go ahead.
I think, and this, I don't know what order this is. It doesn't have numbers, but I'm assuming that it is in order, right, of what they feel was the biggest bomb. Go so the first on the list is the Haunted Mansion. Was that woke?
Did you see that one?
I don't know. I didn't see it.
But I'm asking, like, in your... So, yeah. So if I say it, and then that... My point is, Lou, I guess I just want to see what the correlation is. So that's all. So Haunted Mansion, you never saw anything about it, so
Yeah, no.
Okay.
I mean, all I heard was the movie sucked. I didn't hear anything woke about it. I just heard the movie sucked.
okay.
It didn't
Ruby
suck. It was good. I
Gillman,
liked
Teenage
it.
Kraken.
Okay.
That just looked dumb.
Really? I wanted to watch that one.
I think it's on Hulu now. You can watch it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. The Machine.
I don't know what that
I don't
one.
even know what that is.
That's a comedian, Bert Kreischer,
Oh, yeah, okay.
and Luke Skywalker playing
That
his
is
dad.
yeah, that I remember. I remember the trailer. I don't know if that's woke or not.
We already talked about Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1. They consider that a bomb. Yeah.
I think, I was going to say financially, I think it was a bomb. I didn't see that one. I know that one's on streaming right now. I didn't see it yet, though.
Shazam! Fury of the Gods.
I don't think that was woke. It just wasn't good.
Ant-Man and the Wasp. We've already talked about that.
Yeah,
Fast X.
Well, I wouldn't call that one woke either. That was a bomb? They consider that a bomb?
Yeah. Domestic gross was 100. So domestic gross.
That's it. Gross.
Domestic gross was 146 million. Worldwide gross was 705 million. But they said its budget was 340 million.
Oh yeah, they lost money for sure.
Yeah. So according to the 2.5 rule, that this meant that Fast X lost Universal 146 million dollars.
That sounds about right.
The Flash.
Was that? I don't think that was woke.
And then I know what you're going to say for this one, the Marvels.
Honestly, I did not.
Woke, though.
No, yep, I did not think that was woke.
Right. Okay, so all of those movies that were the bombs, according to financials, right? None of them were obviously woke. Besides, right? So but that doesn't prove that, because my point was that if the movie is woke, it's going to bomb. And there are I don't know, was it Elemental apparently had an agenda. Again, I haven't seen it, so I don't know. But if they had an agenda, no, here's a better one. I think it was 2 years ago. Strange Worlds from Disney. And keep in mind, most of mine is on Disney stuff because they piss me off because they run Star Wars. They've pissed me off because of it. But that Strange Worlds.
Does that mean you're not going next month then?
No, I'm still going. Fuck that.
Okay.
That's absolutely happening.
Did you get your D23 tickets, Chuck?
No, I didn't even bother because we got other stuff to do that weekend.
When's D23 this year?
August.
Oh, is it? Okay.
August.
I think I couldn't remember. I was like, it's after Comic-Con, but I don't remember I thought it was October or something.
One of the guys that I follow on YouTube, I didn't watch the video yet, but the title of the video was like, getting D23 tickets, and I guess it was a huge clusterfuck. So
it was.
Obviously, they're taking after Comic-Con.
Right.
Oh, really? Because I guess general tickets might be a bitch, because I guess there's something for the top level, and then there's some kind of credit card holders level they get to buy next, and then general public.
Yeah.
What is that top tier? I don't remember.
Gold. You just pay. It's like, I don't even know how much it costs a year, but you can get like a dual membership for like $70 a year. So it's you and somebody else is on it. That's
$70 a year. That's it.
Yeah, if that. I don't even know what it is. But
Damn,
sometimes we get discounts and stuff, and I think that's how we got to go see Indiana Jones at El Cap. It was one of those programs, and it actually helped us see the Captain America musical at DCA when it was out there.
Okay, gotcha.
So they had D23 gold member pricing, D23 general member pricing, and then they had preferred seating pricing for hall D23 preferred seating prices. That was $900.
What?
Yeah, they were ridiculous. And then they have a whole other ticket to go to the Honda Center for like their big panels. Yeah.
Yeah, that's bullshit. There was probably a time where I wanted to go to D23. Not anymore. It's like now, and that has nothing to do with my dislike of what Disney's been doing the last 5 years. It's more of a why. I just don't see. For me, obviously, a lot of people go. They love their stuff. I get it. Like the way I love Comic-Con and Star Wars Celebration. But at D23, although nowadays, I guess that would be the thing to do, especially after Comic-Con, because it seems like they don't bring anything to Comic-Con anymore. They'll just wait a month and do their own thing at D23.
I think a bunch of the studios are pulling out of Comic-Con this year.
Again?
From what I read, I think so.
See, I understood it last year because of the strike. This year, there's no excuse.
But I think it's just cost prohibitive, right? Like if you're
I don't know, man, that's good marketing.
But again, if your focus groups and stuff like that aren't impacted by Comic-Con, then why would we go invest a ton of money and bring people in and that type of thing? You know,
they're already going to get our dollar. Why do they need to show up?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're already going to buy.
Yeah, they don't need to advertise it to us. Yeah.
Yeah.
The smaller ones, I think they do, so that works out. The TV shows and some of the smaller movies, okay, great.
Yeah,
but the big studios, you're right. They don't need to spend $1 on us.
Yeah, so that's why there's probably never going to be a Star Wars Day again at Comic-Con. You know, like because they don't need to. Why do they need to?
No. Yeah,
they have D23. They have Star Wars Celebration. They have other avenues that going to Comic-Con just undercuts those, right? Because if they're going to give presentations at Comic-Con, what do they have to show at D23 or at Star Wars Celebration, right? I'm not saying that's right or wrong, right? Like, but I'm saying that that's
it's just
in my head. Yeah, it's the reality of the situation, you know.
And honestly, can't really blame them. No, you think about it, it's like, yeah, all right. Especially since they're not like waiting a long time. It's a month later.
Yeah.
It's weeks later,
right? It's closer to 3 weeks than it is than it is 4 or 5. So at that point, it's smarter for them. Obviously, less expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, and in the last couple of years with them hemorrhaging money, it makes the most sense. My only issue is, and this is just me being selfish, is when you show trailers, stuff like that, drop that online, please. Put that on your YouTube channel and let me go watch this.
Right?
Some of them are good about doing that. But
some, some, not the big ones.
Yeah. Whew. This whole episode was off the rails. We didn't even get the Duke's Vegas story. We'll have to say that for next week.
Right?
Yeah.
I was thinking about that too. It was like, man, we went on a freaking tangent.
Well, nobody even knows that I went to Vegas yet, so maybe people will catch on this week. And we still haven't talked about the podcast stats.
That too.
But I think this was a good episode.
Y'all need to learn how to focus. Dang, like me, I don't go off the rails at all.
No, not at all. Nope.
It was bullet points. Let's go.
Bullet points. That's all I got.
Lou was born off the rails.
He was. he really was. Oh man.
Did you do any white people shit, Lou?
I kinda. I don't know. You guys tell me because I went to like I don't know. Is bowling alley birthday parties white people shit? Because I usually don't see black people there. Because I went to one of those 100%. On Saturday, and it was like
Cosmic bowling.
No, it was middle of the day. That way we could go drinking later in the evening.
All right.
But it was so it was bowling during the day. I'll grant that we did drink like fish while we were there. It's bowling. You have to drink. That's part of the rules.
Right.
But when I was there, I was thinking about it because I was thinking, man, is this gonna be my white people shit for this week? And then I thought about it. I was like, wow, all the times I've gone bowling, league or not league, just for fun, I usually don't see black people having a birthday party at a bowling alley. And I was like, wow, that's just a thing. So I figured I'd ask you guys, do you guys remember if you're going to the birthday parties, the bowling alleys, the Chuck E. Cheese's, whatever the case may be? Because I'm thinking Chuck E. Cheese as well. I almost always see white kids. Granted, we were adults doing this, but that's what triggered it. I couldn't think about a time when it was a bunch of black kids or adults doing a bowling alley birthday party. What's your experience been?
Let's see. I was trying to look up how many black professional bowlers are there.
There are any? Are there any? Black professional bowler? What the hell, man? Black dude putting 3 fingers in holes. It ain't a bowling ball. I'm just saying.
Yeah. You're talking about Blackzilla and shit, not
right.
Yeah.
Well, this says that some dude named Faulkner is one of only 2 African Americans that are professional bowlers that have won a bowling title. So
his last name is Faulkner?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just not going to touch it.
Gary Faulkner Jr. So there's 2 of them. At least.
Goodness. Yeah, no. So that was my white people thing. I would argue is the bowling alley birthday party that I'm not used to. That no, not for black people anyway. That's white people all the way.
So what do black people do for their birthdays? Barbecue,
man. You go out back and you get a block party going. Everybody's bringing a dish. Somebody's got somebody's grandmama's recipe, and it's going to be delicious. And there's pork and chicken all up around this bitch. I'm telling you that much right now. What did my mom say? Eat that pig from the rooter to the tutor.
Rooter to the tutor.
Yep.
And Lou burns through so many pairs of gloves.
Oh my, you have no idea, dude. There are times when I will run out. And it's like, man, I can't eat anymore. I have to get a fork and knife to cut the meat off the ribs. Although it usually just falls off the rib.
You're over with the catering people. Can I get one of those boxes? And they're like, oh, like a to-go? And you're like, no, the boxes of gloves.
Yup. Been there, done that. Not even ashamed to say it. I have been to a party like that, and I asked the caterer for some gloves. I'll do it again.
We just walk into the buffet line. It's like, no, that's finger food. I need to get strictly knife and fork.
Bruh, I've done it.
I'm out of gloves.
I've done it. I'm sitting in Vegas. I'm sitting there going through, and it's like, no, can't eat that. No, can't eat that. Okay, you're good. You're good. Okay, I've done that before.
He's got to go to the prime rib station exclusively.
Yep.
I don't even wear gloves, and I do that shit.
You got them beef ribs, chicken wings. I'm like, man, that sounds really good, but the hell if I'm picking it up?
Boneless chicken wings.
Ew, gross.
Well, when we monetize, Lou, we'll get some bitches that feed you your wings. They'll hold your wings for you.
That's what I'm talking about. We can do that, and make sure they're the legs too. Don't give me the flats. Don't give me the flats.
Jack, are you gonna try to get a place in San Diego during Comic-Con for us to do a live show? So the 4 people that watch us can show up. I love you, Lou.
Yeah, I'm gonna get her a sign.
Yeah,
the kids are tired. Yeah. I gotta go to bed.
No, they want nothing to do with this. I'm like, you guys need to at least click on the YouTube. I don't care, just once. Like, nope.
Dang, rude.
Get my numbers up, right?
Man, where's the love?
Support my endeavors.
Right? Dang. Where's no love at all? Damn.
Daddy's trying to be. You know what? He's trying to be home more for you.
See if I drive you to frickin' archery again.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Dang.
Katniss never, Dean, because she ain't never going back again.
For real. This last time you get an evil baby.
Right? Dang. I mean, podcast is not for kids, but still.
No, it is not.
Every time I upload, is this for children? No.
But
explicit content.
But no love from the wife though? Damn.
Hating.
Well, that means we can talk about her then.
All right, that is true. It won't come back on us, so that's good.
Oh shit.
Cool.
And then at some point she does, and she goes back to like episode 8, and she's like, yeah.
That's all I need. My divorce proceedings. So, in episode 8 of your podcast, did you not say this about your wife?
All I'm going to do is submit one thing, and then she just pushes across the link to the YouTube.
Yeah. Episode 8. Here's your deposition. It's like, nah, never mind. We're good. She just give her what she wants.
Yep. You're right. I'm out. No contest.
Oh shit.
Jack, since you're the only one with a full-on family, what are you guys doing for Easter?
I don't think we're doing anything. I'm getting. I got stuff for their baskets, but usually we do a Easter egg hunt in the back. I didn't see any candy to put in the eggs this year.
Damn.
Because usually we put them out like the night before. So to keep bugs and shit out of it, I get like wrapped stuff. But they didn't have hardly any of that stuff when I went to Target. So I don't even know if we're doing dinner or nothing.
You know you're going to the Brazilian barbecue place. Come on now.
Yeah, don't tempt me. No, little one might have a baseball game this week. They canceled it last week for the weather, but it's supposed to rain again this weekend too. So,
oh damn,
yeah,
which is sad because it's Star Wars Day. We're going to a play called Funny Girl this weekend.
That's right.
That's old school.
Yeah,
playing out here.
I might go see Kong. Go see Kong and Zilla.
I might do that too. I think I'll catch a matinee. I don't think I want a full price on that one, but I'll catch a matinee.
Tightwad Tuesday, man. Tightwad Tuesday.
I think that's what was the other movie I was telling y'all I might watch on Tuesday? It just came out last week.
Ghostbusters?
Yeah. So that might be the Tightwad Tuesday might be Ghostbusters.
I'm going I'm going to go see that tomorrow. So
I liked it.
Yeah.
It's good.
Man, there's
if you
a
like
lot.
the last one, you like this one.
Yeah, last one is about Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the last one.
There's a lot of movies coming out over the next month and a half, boys. It's going to be pretty crazy.
Yeah, there is.
What's the next one that stands out?
Let me bring up. You guys talk for a second while I get my list, because I sent a list out to people to kind of give them a heads up of like, hey guys, like,
cool.
Oh yeah.
Well, the
organizer for your group.
What we can do? That's where we can wrap it up. That way we can come back next week and talk about upcoming movies that we're looking forward to see.
Monkey Man. Monkey Man on April 5th.
But I don't know which one is that.
That's the Dev Patel John Wick one.
Nope.
Looks like this just comes woke. Monkey Man sounds woke and racist at the same time.
For real, I ain't doing it. Did Steve put it out?
Lou, how about Civil War?
Oh, I'll watch that.
Abigail after that.
Yeah,
that's
for
the one
sure.
I sent you guys last week.
Yep.
Then Fall Guy May 1st.
Oh, yep, I'll watch that one.
Baby Goose.
Dude, that's got Emily Blunt in it.
Yeah,
that's got Emily Blunt. I'm watching that.
And then the week after that is Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
I'm watching that.
So yeah, I mean
those either.
It's like the 5th, the 12th, the 19th, and the 1st.
So what is it? Pre-Memorial Weekend. What's the top summer movie that's supposed to be coming out in May? Usually there's got to be one. Oh, hold on. I guess we got to hold this to next week.
Yeah, we can hold it next week. I'll look it up. I'll send you guys. What I'll do is I'll get some movies for the summer movies. I'll get some trailers. I'll send them to you guys. We can either watch them together or we can watch them beforehand. And that'll be next week's show.
Or at least part of it anyway. Yeah, I'm curious because I honestly can't think. I mean, I knew those ones are coming out, and then I guess eventually Deadpool and Wolverine's coming out.
Yeah, that's
June,
I think.
Yeah, June. I think
June. Yeah.
Is it June? I thought it was July. I thought it was coming out when we were in Comic-Con.
Oh, is it?
Well, because something is coming out when we're at Comic-Con. So we'll talk about it next week.
Yeah,
get that
you
answer.
know what? We'll talk about it then.
Good, because there's a burrito calling my name. I'm hungry.
Get there, son.
Yep.
Jens, it's been fun. Have
Always
yourself a good week. Yeah.
Sounds